Stanonik. Oh, wow.
No, that was definitely cuffed. I saw. Ton.
Josh.
Well, you guys were fortune tellers. You guys were fortune tellers and saying, hey, what if this happens again?
Oh, my God.
Oh, that was so clear.
I know
to the groin. That was horrible. His leg was up.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the No Good Podcast. We are joined by a kickboxing beast with no remorse, undefeated in kickboxing, but also a man with balls of steel, Peter Stanonik. Peter, how you doing, man? I got to ask, how's the recovery? I think a lot of people in the you like that. I know you like that. Well, listen, man. All jokes aside, I do hope the recovery is coming along well, man.
Indeed. Yeah, it's doing very well, man. I'm back to normal. Dick is good.
Thumbs up for the dick. I got you. That's good, man. That's good. That's good to hear. I mean, after seeing something like that, you even as a viewer, you can't help but feel it, right? So, I'll ask though, in the fight with Raymond Daniels, do you believe that an accurate striker like him may have intentionally thrown that second groin kick?
Man, so I've gotten asked that many times, and then I guess every time I get asked that, it goes back to he didn't, back to he did, because if that many people are asking, it's like now it's like I don't know, I'm teeter-tottering on that. I don't know if he intentionally did it. I don't think he is a horrible human being. Now, that doesn't make someone a dirty fighter, right? You can, because fighting and life, they kind of coincide, but at a certain age, you're able to separate them. So I don't necessarily think he's a horrible human being. But I do know, as a grown man, we're responsible for what we do inside that cage. So if the ref says, hey, keep it up, you keep it up. If a ref says close your hands, you close your hands. With the eye pokes. But to go right back to the kick, there wasn't anything else thrown but another spin kick. That's the part I'm befuddled about. It's like you didn't do anything else, but you went right back to the move that gave him 5 minutes. Because I think I took up to 5 minutes. Yeah. I took the whole 5 minutes. And the truth is, I feel like I was piecing him up. I was tagging him, man, and with hard shots. And I feel like he needed the 5 minutes to recover. So I don't know. I don't know. And at this point, I don't care now. Sure. It's over with.
Got to move forward, type of thing. I got you.
That's totally understandable. I just want to ask you, when you got kicked the second time, did you think that there was any possibility of you continuing the fight?
Yeah, in my head, I just needed another 5. I wanted to see where I was in 5 minutes, but they instantly called it off. I could hear them. I couldn't, and the thing is, it's probably bad on my part, but I couldn't move, man. I had another interview, told him, and this is exactly how it felt. I felt like a pain going through my gooch up to the top of my back. And I couldn't breathe. I really just couldn't breathe. So it was like a shock, and I wanted to say something, but I was like so fixated on the pain. It was like, fuck, man, they already called it off. And then they brought the stretcher, and I was like, dude, don't bring the stretcher out, I don't want to look like a bitch. I was about to throw up in the cage, but I knew the camera was on me. I could hear John McCarthy talking, so I knew the camera was on me, and I didn't want to throw up in a Bellator cage, but I couldn't breathe, yo. You know what I mean?
Wow. Yeah. Now, I wanted to ask you, like, do you believe this fight should have been ruled a disqualification instead of a no contest?
Yeah. So, all my MMA fights I've won by knockout. Like, and I want to keep that. I want to keep that going. I want to win all my fights by knockout. You know what I mean? But at a business aspect, and I'm 32 now. You know what I mean? I got a family. I got dogs. I got a girlfriend. I got real bills. A DQ. It would have gave me the win, and then on my next contractual fight with Bellator, it would have went up substantially. So it actually hurt me big time business-wise. So that, I feel like, is like, that fucked me up. And then the worst part is he didn't even get a point deducted.
Yeah, I didn't really understand.
There was no point deducted, and I was like, you know what, that's a big disrespect. That's like a slap in my face. Like, I'm just a dude who does this once every 2 moons, and I haven't given my life to the sport. You know what I mean? I feel like they're trying to, not Bellator, but a lot of people are and it's because I don't have the 100,000 followers. And thank you. I don't have the big. You can't market me. I know I'm a different type of person, so I understand that. But then again, it comes to a point that we're all still humans, and at a certain point, you got to have empathy. That's what makes us humans. And so, like, you got to be fair, man. Like, nothing. He got out of this scot-free. I not only did I get spinning back kicks in my dick, but then my pockets got hurt too. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it's like, when does it stop? You know?
Yeah. Like, well, why do you think it was ruled this way? Because do you think like mainly they were like trying?
You know why? That's why you're asking me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was gonna also ask you, like, what is your opinion on like groin strikes and other illegal moves? Do you think like the current system is too lenient on the repercussions?
Right. Well, I understand if you do like so say if I did an inside low kick, which I did, I touched him on his groin. The second one I didn't touch him in his groin. It was actually very high. I felt it. The first one I felt on my cup, and I pulled my kick before I kicked him. But I feel like if you do the same move, right, and at a certain amount of time, it should be DQ, right? You've been warned by the ref. And then you did it again. If you don't, now I don't know the time length in between that. It should be. I'm not a ref or I'm not a commissioner, but I do feel like it should be a DQ depending on the severity of the kick or the punch or whatever it may be. I feel like, and I'm not just saying this because I was in that position, but I do put myself in I'm trying to put myself in someone else's shoes. If I would have saw that to someone else, instantly you think DQ. And I keep hearing it from other people, and it's like, well, maybe all these people are right. You know what I mean? Maybe I'm having too much empathy for him. You know what I mean?
Well, I think so too. Like, you know, like in like the John Jones fight when he got DQ'd with like the illegal move, right? And you see like a lot of different instances in MMA, they usually go to a DQ, and it's not really a no contest.
Yeah.
Now another thing I wanted to ask you, like coming into this fight, you were like you went up another weight class, right?
I went up 2 weight classes.
Yeah. Usually like at featherweight. So, and you're fighting him, who's like also fights at 185. So, did you feel like the extra weight was like a positive or a negative?
The weight cut was great. I didn't have to cut any weight. But I'm just confident in my power, man. I love hitting a bag and I love lifting heavy. And even at featherweight, when I cut to featherweight, I do the same routine. It's just I cut back on my carbs a lot sooner, maybe 3 weeks, and I cut down on the sodium. But no, the weight really wasn't an issue. I'm just really confident in myself. And people take that as arrogance, but yo, I don't go out. I don't have a social life. And I'm not saying this because I want it. I'm just saying like I do this, you know, I everything I do is to better myself for fighting specifically. There's like a plethora of things I could do, but you know what I mean? I do everything to get better at fighting. So I feel extremely confident in my power and my ability to land the power. So the weight really wasn't an issue. It was just, they didn't say anything about it. I came home and watched the fight. No one said anything about me moving up. The commentators didn't say shit about him fighting at 85 and me fighting for 45. And when I actually, I had Mount for a second. He had slipped. He kept doing the spinning back kick, and I got Mount. I was actually in half. And then I went to Mount. So I wasn't given the Mount. I actually had to push his hip down to get to Mount. I could feel him. I could feel his strength, even though I feel like I'm strong, but I'm not a welterweight. I wanted to do more in the Mount, but I feel like if I went for the arm triangle, if I threw a punch, he was easily going to lift me up, you know? So, I don't feel like I'm not getting any credit on that. I don't need any, but
no, definitely when I looked into it more and everything and saw that, I was sort of like blown away, you know?
Yeah.
It's a big weight difference.
Yeah.
So Daniel said in the post-fight interview, he pretty much said that he'd be open to a rematch. Would you be interested in running it back? And
well, it's not a question. Yeah, absolutely. And no offense to y'all, but I just feel like when people ask me that, I feel like, again, I'm no disrespect. I feel like it's a slap in my face just because, like, if you look at my, look me up on Tapology, bro, I've got a lot of fights. Even as an amateur, I was fighting in Nebraska, in Montana, in Wyoming. So then there was really no commission. They didn't even, I fought for, beat down MMA, kick down MMA with Steve Alley, and most of my fights aren't even listed as my amateur record. So I have a lot of fights, and I feel like that should speak for itself. You know what I mean? I've taken so many fights that and what I was getting to is I've never pulled out of a single fight, like not once. So I feel like I kind of try to be the epitome of a fighter, like a real one. I take any fight that's offered me, So that's how I feel. Yeah.
So you're up for it. Okay, I got you.
I personally want to ask, just for our listeners, so what's next for you in the future? Like, who do you see personally going into the octagon with next?
For Bellator, if you want the truth, I would love to fight Bolanos, man. I think that would be a dope-ass fight. Two good strikers. Somebody's going to have to get knocked out. We're both coming in and we're on the same weight class, and I would really, really, really want that fight. Again, I understand I don't have a bunch of followers, and I don't have a huge following. So from a business aspect, I get if they wouldn't want that fight. But, I mean, if we're here to fight and we're trying to entertain the people, man, you got to get past that whole I don't have a bunch of followers type shit. I don't post, you know what I mean? I don't try to post to get paid sponsorships or like nothing. Like I post so my people know that I'm staying busy. You know what I mean? So it's I understand if they wouldn't want that fight, but I would absolutely love that fight. I mean, I've been asking for that fight for like a year now. Kickboxing or MMA, because we both do the same thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man.
Right.
That'd definitely be an interesting fight to watch.
Okay. Well, before we go, it is a music commentary podcast, so we have to ask you, what music or what artist do you listen to that really gets you in the mood for training or before fights?
Conway the Machine, Benny the Butch, West Side.
Hey.
Boy, I'm getting goosebumps thinking, bro. Just that energy, man. That's what I beat off of, yo. Those are the main three that I listen to. And my girl in here listening to her radio and shit. I listen to J. Paul and all that other shit. But if I'm training, that's all I listen to is them three right there, bro. That's it.
Oh, they get you into it. They get you into an energy. That's for sure.
Oh, absolutely, bro. It's like it's just a beautiful violence type feeling. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Awesome. Well, Peter Stanonik, we thank you so much for coming on to the No Good podcast today. We really do appreciate it.
I thank y'all for having me, man. For real.
Awesome. Thank you for coming on. Until next time, it's the Boys from No Good podcast. We'll see you guys soon.